She's a heavy one. Yep. Don't lift this. Now it won't lift. Yeah. Oh, that's sour. Good morning. So today we are getting to work on a 1970 something Gravely tractor, 816 model. This thing's been sitting in an old farmer's, I guess not really a farmer, an old guy's shed for, don't really know, probably about 10 years roughly. That's what he told me. He paused for a good 10 seconds before he actually answered, so I trust him on that. Couple things to note, this thing has no attachments that came with it. It does have PTO, pretty nice actually. Came with PTO shafts, drive shafts, don't know what you call those. I'm not a farmer yet. But it hasn't ran and drove or like rode. Hasn't been driven or ridden in 10 plus years, so we're gonna go ahead and start tinkering with it, see if we can figure out what it needs, if it's gonna run. It doesn't have keys or anything, he doesn't know where those were. So yeah, let's get started. Well, I suppose I'll give you guys a, oh, that sun is right there, a good little tour on this thing. So it is a Gravely 816, and looking at it on this side, this would be your Craigslist side. See how nice that looks? So this was clear, this side that was in the shade, and this side was clearly cooking in the sun. He said it was in, oh, I don't know what that is. He said it was in a shed, but I don't know now. Yeah, it's not on this side. All I know is it's a 4-speed. Oh, transmission goes in the gear. Good. This is your engager for forward and reverse. Reverse does not feel right. Forward goes right in. Okay, that's your brake. Ooh, that made a sound. What's that noise? Oh, right. It has, he told me he put fresh gas in it before he went and stored it up. Let's put a little, it doesn't look, oh, just, wow. It's, oh man, that stuff stinks. Varnished. Yeah, I don't know what, I know there's a, we'll get into that later. I'm wondering if that's the battery acid like leaking out of it, who knows. Well, it looks like there was new tires put on the front before it was parked. They're actually really nice. There's still even some of the original stuffs on the tire. Don't know, lines, pinstriping, don't know. It has a custom seat cover. See, look at that. Oh, these can't be the keys, right? Well, unless that turns it. Darn, not the key. What is that? That, I don't know. I'm gonna think these go to like a mailbox. Oh, look at that. We have keyage. We won't turn it over just yet. Cool, so we have keys, and this seat is, oh my gosh, it's pretty bad. Oh, it's all rust. Look at that. Oh boy, it's all solid rust. There's no bottom left to the seat. We're just gonna put that back on. Pretend we didn't see that at all. And this, yeah, this lifts up. And this is how you get to the engine and transmission. This has a Owen, what is this thing? It says C block. Serial number C block. Don't know what engine it is. Oh, right there. 16.5 horsepower. Holds 2 quarts of oil. Above 30 degrees, SA 30, 520, below 30. It's cold. It's got some good custom exhaust work. That's nice. Got a cigar. That's how you get these things running good. I'm guessing this is your coil. That looks like it's in great shape. The electrical tape is how you know. Oh yeah, that's good stuff. That'll run good. Here's your transmission. Don't know pretty much anything about these other than, well, they work or they don't work, bottom line. So it has PTO in the front. I saw that. Confirmed. So it must have a shaft that goes from here to the transmission, and it should have one in the back, but I don't think it does, no. So it's just the front PTO, probably for like a snow plow or something. But good news is we've got keyage. Bad news is I don't know how to, oh, there we go. Oh, there's the battery, all right. So the red one is negative, and the white one is positive. Good to know. Main reason I bought this unit was, of course, it's super cool looking. And second, we had a bad rainstorm out here, and it actually put these giant ruts in my driveway. So I can't even pull out the Corvette. So in theory, if I get this graded a little bit, I can actually drive the Corvette and put it in the garage to be worked on. Fellas, you gotta have a good excuse when you buy something like garbage or junk from the wife. My excuse, driveway is ruined. I need a small tractor with hydraulics to fix it. And here we are now. We have this piece of junk. Hopefully we can make it run. Well, I suppose the first thing you should do when you work on anything that's been sitting a long time is get the sun out of your eye, because that way you can see. But we're gonna find out how to check the oil on this thing, because it's been sitting. Oh, there's the hydraulic pump right there. Oh, here we go. Oh, I'm gonna need a rag. That's pretty bad. Well, it's got oil. Well, do not overfill, and it's clearly past the full line. So it's overfull, which is fine, I guess, for storing it. Maybe we'll drain on some of that. So this is your carburetor. Wow, that's your throttle return screen. Oh, there we go. Let me give it some beans and see what it does here. This is your old carburetor here. We're gonna make sure it's not all locked up. I know it has oil in it, even though it's overfilled. So this is your choke, obviously, which somebody put a cigar in there, so it's full of whatever cigars are made out of. It's also got this spring, which is clearly factory here. And I don't know if that's the governor. Maybe it's the governor. That's how that works. Let's check the choke first. Very stiff, but it works. There it goes. Put some rejuvenation spray on that in a minute. Let's check the throttle. Throttle works good. What is that all about, though? Let's go ahead and turn this thing over by hand, make sure she's not locked up. It's pretty easy on these. The crank is outside the front of the engine right here, so we'll turn it over and see what we got. So I'm just gonna spray some rejuvenation spray on the carburetor there. Don't worry about getting it all over it. It's dirtier than a diesel engine. I wonder if this thing is a diesel, actually, looking at it now. No, it has spark plugs. Yeah, this is one of the dirtiest little small engines I've seen. It's just salt. Well, maybe it's the transmission, not the engine. So, nice thing is crank is right here. One bolt. Don't know what that was. 1 bolt. We just grab us maybe a 5/8. Yep, 5/8 wrench. Just want to see if it turns over. Oh, it even has a little arrow that tells you which way to crank it, so you can't mess up. Oh yeah. I don't know if you could hear that. Okay, there's compression sucking in the carburetor. There's a point where it just, right there. Well, it's acting like there's something scraping really bad on maybe this cylinder. But it's been sitting a while, so. That's fine. Right there, what is that? Do you hear that? I thought I'd bring you in a little closer so you could hear this. It goes, hear that? Hey, ouch. There's clearly some friction going on in that cylinder. Let's go ahead and take the plugs out. This thing's pretty much all transmission, so it's heavy. Well, for Pete's sakes, man. Move the tractor step that y'all can. Ow! Oh, my poor knuckles. They always are. Gosh, I love working on junk. They put cheese grater things like this on the exhaust. When you're turning it over by hand, it's just chewing your knuckles up. Go to pull a spark plug wire and the hydraulics arm here just takes out your knuckle. It's great. All right, let's get this cylinder out of here. I lost the socket. There it is. 13/16. I was right. It is 13/16. Yeah, not too bad for something that's been sitting a while. It's not perfect. It's not covered in like chunks of metal or oil fouled, so it's not too bad. It actually looks like it's got just a tiny bit of like maybe just like they've been trying to start it and it just hasn't fired. I don't know if there's spark. This kind of could have been the problem. This was all the way loose like that when I took it out, so who knows, maybe that was loose and it just causes a bad spark. I'm not sure. Leave this one on the tire like you're supposed to. I was hoping maybe this one's just loose when you're hearing air leak out and that wasn't just like horrible friction. But, there we go. Yeah, same thing. This thing is near falling off the top of the spark plug there. Let's pull this one out. Actually, it looks like someone's clearly been in here already. Based off of the, well, wasn't loose. Kind of the same thing, but it's dark, like it has been running. The other one looked wet, like it wasn't running. So I wonder if we were only running on one cylinder on this unit. Here's the cylinder 2, we'll call it, and it's pretty much the same thing, not covered in oil or anything, but it is dry. Like the black soot stuff is dry. The other one, it was wet. So either that means someone's been trying to start it, or that means that it's been running only on one cylinder and that one's been wet the whole time. I don't know. We'll have to check for spark first. But yeah, this can mean also that the valve is stuck on that cylinder. The intake valve is stuck, or there is no intake push rod anymore. I don't know how this engine works, but so there's no new fuel going into it, and they've been trying to start that engine, and it's been going on the other side. It could be bad. So we're gonna start by spraying some WD-40 down the cylinders and seeing if that kind of gets rid of that noise. I'm gonna start by just spraying that one cylinder, turning it over by hand, and hopefully that noise goes away. We'll take the plugs out so we don't have to worry about compression, but yeah, not terrible news, but it could be bad news. What's going on here? I don't think it's got overhead cans. It's probably like an old Briggs, flathead Briggs. So the piston's down there on the bottom. Why don't we just spray a bunch of that in there. We'll turn it over now and see if it makes any difference. Try not to destroy my knuckle. That's the... Still making that noise. Hear the oil. That noise stopped, but I could hear the oil in there. All right, that's good news. The oil did its job. It's not it did a little bit make the noise at the beginning, but it did quiet down, which is great news. Wonder if this is important. Little Carburetor. I'll just put it back. Maybe that's a factory thing to keep those. Here's a tool that if you don't have, you should. It's a spark tester. All you do is you put this in the spark plug wire, this in on the spark plug, turn it over, and this light should flash. That'll tell you if you have spark on either one or all the cylinders, in this case 2, I remembered. And if it doesn't, then we gotta start tracing down why it doesn't. I mean, it could be the fact that there's just, oh, I thought this was a wire, it's a stick. The coil looks like it was on the Titanic, and that's what kept it going. I'm gonna start by hooking it up on the cylinder that I'm not sure has spark and just see if it does. If it doesn't, we'll check the other one. If it does, we're doing good. So we'll just hook up right here. There we go. Yeah, beautiful. And you gotta be careful, fellas. If you let this thing touch metal, because if you just let it sit there and then it grounds out on metal, you won't see a flash. You gotta make sure it's all cleared up. Well, this thing's been clearly expertly worked on. Sorry about the lighting right now. I tried to move this thing further in. I don't know if you saw that. I about broke my back. I tried, but the sun is just not working with me today. Anyways, they put the wrong colors for positive and negative. Ooh, do not want to do that. Almost did a 200 amp, 12 volt jump start on a 6 volt battery. All right, so this is the crate of goodies. That's my boat motor. This, I assume, is the PTO shaft. I don't know really. Sleep. It's not a good sign to find a bunch of gaskets that I don't know what go to. Carburetor gaskets, looks like exhaust. Some sort of maybe fuel line. So this might have a fuel delivery issue. We saw that new filter, so this is kind of a clue. What else do we got? Oh, air cleaner. That's nice. Hook that back up. Wonder if that thing's dirty. So far, the only good thing I found in there that I know what is, this is to the shifters. So we do have the ball. Okay, let's get this cleaned up. Yeah. PTO is negative. We don't have that. Choke. Oh. Choke is not working now. The lever just bounces right back up. So that means maybe there is a reason that air filter isn't on there. Great. Let's get that. Oh, how do you get off of this thing? Put it on this way. Well, now does it work? I think I had the air filter spun wrong. Yes, it works fine now. All right, everybody, let's see if we got some sparks here. Sparkles, you wanna see sparkles? So it's the disgusting key is the one we use. Well, now that key doesn't work. Oh, there it goes. Oh, we got an oil light. I don't know if that's good or bad. Let's see what we got. We got positive spark. Sounds terrible, but we have spark on that cylinder. Let's check the other one. Oh yeah, there's spark. Now that we know we have spark, we have one other issue. There's smoke just pouring out from under this thing somewhere. So we're gonna just shut that off. Coming out from the coils, don't know what that means. I don't know, but it smells like a bad electrical fire, so we have spark. A lot of people say when you let something sit for a long time, the first thing you should do is just plug in a battery and make sure you don't have any smoke or fire. And Oh, that's hot. So this is probably what smoking is. The coil. Kind of forgot that this is a 6-volt system. I'm running a 12-volt battery jump starter, so it's got double the amount of voltage, and we've been just boiling it over. So that battery's probably, that battery's cooked, obviously. But now that we know we have spark, let's check if we have fuel. We can't seem to get this off of here. Oh, come on, come on. What in the world is going on here? Oh, there it goes. Nope. Yep. No. Maybe. I ain't asking twice. Come on. Do I have new fuel line for this? No. Damn. Well, this isn't happening. Well, there's a little split in the fuel line. When I pull up, it slides up just slightly. And in that split, varnished fuel comes out. So it has fuel. Yeah, okay, so we gotta make sure we're in neutral. This just does not feel like it's doing anything. We'll give it a little throttle. That's a lot, I just remembered. And all the chokers touch a choke. It ran. Let's try it again. Well, she is running, but she's running on one cylinder. This is ice cold. This one's piping hot. Huh. Well, figure it out. Okay, we've done a little bit more work. We took an old Ford spark plug wire. We jerry-rigged that to just jam on in there. It loops around. Clearly the wrong wire for this, but yeah, it'll be fine. So we're gonna go ahead and start it and see now if we have, sorry about that. We're gonna go ahead and start it now and see if we have spark. All right. Try to. That's a no, I can tell you right now. Well, that was a fail. That didn't work either. Still just the same thing. When you get it off, it seems to sparklate. So I guess it wasn't the plug wire. So I'm starting to think it might be the spark plug. Something's fouled up or whatever. We're gonna go ahead and pull that plug, go find another one, and we'll be right back. Well, like the cheap SOB I am, I found a perfectly good spark plug in that old Briggs & Stratton engine. Happens to fit. It's just a little bit shorter, so I can't run the old spark plug on that engine. It'll probably smack the piston. This one should be fine. So we're gonna go ahead and start it. I have the spark plug wire off the spark plug, so hopefully we'll get it running. We'll just snip the old wire, stick it on there, and it'll stay running smooth, so cross your fingers. Hopefully this will work, guys, because this would be one of the cheapest fixes ever. I wouldn't have to spend a dime. Jump start, keep on, firing. You know, it's running kind of well. Here we go. Oh God, cross your fingers. Running good. Well, the idle's still ridiculously high. I think there's a vacuum leak based off all the car gaskets. You know, sometimes you buy junk and it pays off. In this case, this thing runs really good now. There's gas spewing out the gas cap, which I forgot to tighten up. That explains that. Almost crashed into my truck. I don't know if that got on camera, but almost. I barely was able to pull on the clutch fast enough. It's fun, yeah. The idle's a bit high. I still gotta figure out what's going on there. Probably use one of those carburetor gaskets, but yeah. Got hydraulics, I got a running tractor. I mean, this thing will probably fire up right now. Okay, so it needs a battery. But yeah, this thing's pretty good. It also appears to have headlights, which there's no way. Yep, you can ride this thing to the store. Yep, it's my daily driver now. Hydraulics works, I gotta build some sort of blade instrument to grade my driveway a little bit just so I could drive the Corvette around. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy this video, give it a big thumbs up. I'll see you in the next one. Comment below if I did anything that you think might have been wrong. Could have been a few things, a lot. But yeah, this thing's running good, so hopefully you'll see it later on in the channel. But until then, I'll see you next time.